What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Jujutsu Kaisen video. Alright guys, we are still kicking it on the Japanese version. We are so close for the release of this game. I know some of you are super excited, some of you are not so excited. Either way, I do want to keep talking about this game because it's one game that I do want to cover because, hey, I love the anime. I know a lot of you are not happy with the way things ended, but hey, you know what? It still is a really good anime in my opinion, and manga, to be quite honest with you guys. And the game itself, I know some of you it's not your cup of tea, but many of you may convert over and start playing, and I highly recommend you give it a chance because you might actually be surprised at what's in store for you. Now, with that being said, we do have a lot of characters in this game. With the game dropping on November 7th, there's a lot of events going on right now, such as the early gacha, and many of you guys are going to be looking for characters, but not knowing which ones are best to start with. So, what I've done is I've gone and scoured the internet and found myself the best tier list in my opinion that's out there, and I want to go over that tier list with you guys and kind of cover what to expect and who to go for and why. Okay, so some of these characters in global are not going to be released quite yet, but this is right here the JJK Phantom Parade Famdom.com tier list. So I want to say thank you to you guys for doing this for us first off. So the tier list, I just want to make sure we go through it together so you guys understand what to look for, who to go for. I'm going to lower my little bit my camera here so you guys can at least have a general sense of who will be the characters you want to actually aim for. Now there's a couple I'm going to disagree with, some of them I will agree with, so let's just go over it and talk a little bit about it. Okay, so this tier list was created by the staff, team, and members of the English community Discord, so shout out to you guys. First off, link is at the bottom of the page, so I will say right over here, the community is under CC by SA unless otherwise noted, so shout out to those guys for doing this. So all credits go to them, by the way. I have nothing to do with this tier list. I'm learning off of it myself, and I will of course make my own tier list after I'm done my own testing, but this is a great opportunity for me to learn and for you to learn, and we're going to go through it together. And hopefully if those people who are playing in the Japanese version can chime in here and let me know any changes they would like to make in the comment section, I will be more than happy to take that information and pass it on in future tier lists that I create going forward. Okay, it is made mostly with manual mode in mind, so keep in mind that some rankings could change when considering auto mode. Characters are divided between damage, support, and tank list. Use the tabs at the top to navigate to see which list you want to look at. All right, so first off, damage. Let's start off with that because most people are going to want to do that. There's tanks, there's support, etc. Right? So let's start off with damage. So it starts off with SS, it goes all the way down to C, and then there's some unranked characters. I would imagine these unranked characters are either untested, which I love that they did it this way instead of just randomly choosing a rank, and these are, or maybe they're characters that just weren't worth putting on a list for any reason, shape, or form. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this and go over some of these different characters. So first off, Gojo. All right, our boy Gojo here. You guys can see the strongest blue. This is the teen version of him. This is from the second season, I believe, if I recall, when he and Geto were best friends. So this is a SSR version. This is the type here. I don't even know what type this is. This is considered yellow type. There we go, yellow type. Focus is combined. Attack. He's obviously an attacker. So this is considered an SS character. So top tier SS character. When critical hit is performed, increases own damage. These are the skills that are provided, okay? Now, this Gojo versus the other Gojo that I've been showing you guys over here, the two differences between them is, I remember I showed you guys the strongest Gojo here. This one here, I showed you guys gameplay of it yesterday. He has a gimmick. So he can't be hurt, can't be damaged. He does insane amount of damage himself. But the caveat here is the fact that he only has 7 turns in that battle till he's gone. After 7 turns, he says bye-bye, and he's out of the battle, and he gets replaced. So he is like your oh shit button, in my opinion, okay? So you want to put him in a place, like, I wouldn't put him last, to be honest with you, and let him kind of be the only unit left and let him destroy things. So he's a good unit, but he's a gimmick unit. So unlike the yellow Gojo there that you just saw, the blue Gojo doesn't actually stay in the battle the whole time. This one does, okay? So just so you guys are aware. And then, of course, there's another Gojo. That's right, a green one, okay? This is the Hollow Technique purple version, and this one here is also a debuffer. He's a focus is mixed, and he has different skills. So while the yellow one is a pure attacker, this one here is a debuffer. So keep that in mind, right? You guys can see deals 1000 range jutsu damage and then decreases enemies ultimate count by 2. So super important. I would say definitely top tier, especially if they ever come out with PvP. A unit like this would be crazy strong, okay? And then we have other units like Yuta here, which I think was one of the coolest looking characters when he came out. And also he's a pure attacker combined. He's red, and then his damage is insane. I've used him as a friend before, and wild damage. It also increases his own taijutsu damage by 20%. It also increases jujutsu damage by 20%, and able to fill own ultimate skill gauge for 4 turns though once he's using it there. So really, really powerful character. So these are the characters you kind of want to go for. The 3 Gojos, Yuta, and then of course Toji over here, which is the they've just re-released him again for the 1-year anniversary for the Japanese version, and people love him. So apparently one of the strongest characters also in the game, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. The man is a crazy, crazy assassin. So if you're looking for the top tier attackers, those are the ones you want to go for. So we got 3 Gojos, we got Yuta and Toji. Now, if we're looking at support here, it's a whole different lineup. And ironically enough, we got an SR in here, which I actually do have this unit in my party, and I love him. Okay, so this is the principal, obviously. So let's start off in the beginning here. This is Momo. So Momo is a Jujutsu focus, and the reason why she's here is look at these skills. It increases all critical hit rate by 30.7% for 2 turns, increases critical hit damage, decreases all enemies crit resistance. So this is insanity, guys. This skill 3 is crazy. Not only that, but also decreases the selected ultimate count by 1. We'll just wait here, and then stuns all enemies. So one of the best support units in the game by far. If you can get her plus a couple attackers, you are set. Your account will be insanely ready for pretty much tackling all content, especially when global drops. So keep that in mind as well too, okay? So super, super important to remember that. I don't know. Okay, now we have the principal, as I mentioned. There's a Yaga here that you guys can see here. Again, support. The beauty of him is he increases all taijutsu damage and jujutsu damage by these percentages here, so really, really good for that. This one here increases the selected enemy's damage received by 27.8%, so again, really good on that part as well too. So he plays a combined role of debuffer and buffer, so really, really strong here. Look at this, decreasing the selected enemy's taijutsu damage, jujutsu damage, and the amount of damage they take by all of this. So and obviously the combined damage here as well too. So really, really powerful SR unit, probably the best one in the game from my opinion. Personally, at the moment, I have him, use him all the time. Incredible to have on the front lines, especially in the beginning if your damage dealers are looking to do massive amounts of damage. Okay, now the second version of him, of course, is right over here. It's also a combined unit. This is a yellow type, and this is the SSR version. This one decreases the enemy's critical hit resistance by 10%. This one decreases the enemy's taijutsu damage by 35%. And then look at the skill 3 here. Increases selected taijutsu damage received, jujutsu damage received, selected enemies damage received. Again, taijutsu, effective for yellow type specifically, so more yellow type, increased damage, etc., right? So, and this one also increases all allies damage by 18.3% with the ultimate, excluding himself. Kathy ignores darkness status when attacking. So super amazing unit here as well too. I personally think the SR version is enough. I would rather go for Momo personally, but that's up to you on that one, right? And then of course we have the other two here. We have Geto, the teen version, also a combined buffer and debuffer here, increasing own damage. You see here, we see increases the selected enemy's jujutsu damage received by 12.7%, increases the selected taijutsu damage received by 12.7%, and then of course the ultimate here increases own break damage by 80.7, increases own maximum curse energy by 40, recovers own curse energy by 20%. So quite a bit of power behind these buffs and debuffs, and definitely a unit you want to use. So definitely check this unit out if you are looking to get yourself a strong support unit that can help you debuff and buff at the same time. So Geto's obviously a really good one to go for, okay? All right, and lastly on the SS for support is the Megumi here, which is the yellow version. Actually, I think this is the banner that's currently out right now. Also a combined one here. You can see the characteristics here. At the start of each turn, if own curse energy is 15 or below, fill some of the ultimate gauge, which is actually amazing to have. Increases selected enemy's damage received by 75%, which is huge for 3 turns for just a basic skill. This one here, you can see here, deals a certain amount of damage, AoE damage to all enemies. So good AoE damage dealer as well too. Skill 3 here deals melee combined with taijutsu and jujutsu on selected enemies. Also increases the selected enemy's taijutsu damage received by 60%, and then also has a chance to stun for 1 turn at 100%. So this unit is actually incredible. And if you look at the ultimate here, decreases all enemies damage by 35%, increases all damage enemies damage received by 45%, grants attack immunity to self, decreases own skill curse energies cost, and unable to fill ultimate skill gauge, but insane skill. So this is the one you want to go go for if you're looking for one of the best units. So in my opinion, quite honestly, between the two of them, I would go with Momo and Megumi as those, and keep this SR here for yourself. I think they're powerful. And again, if you are a player currently in JP and you have differences, let me know. I'm just going to go over the SS versions, guys. You guys can check out this list yourself. And of course, I will put this in the description. So shout out to these guys for making this tier list ahead of time for us. And then here we go. So we got Saki here as a tank. Now these are the tanks. So this is a combined one. Increases own taijutsu damage by 180%, which is crazy. Jujutsu damage by 180%. And this is the characteristics, of course. You guys can see here. If own HP is so right now you can see increases own taijutsu, but cannot die from sacrificing HP. So this is a unit that will actually take damage, deals damage here up to fills on power gauge. The lower own HP is, the greater the damage up to 40%. So this the more damage they take, essentially the tankier and strong, not tankier, so the stronger they become. And then over here you see the lower own HP is, the greater the damage again. This is an AoE, this is an AoE, so a massive AoE dealer. And then you can see at the end of it all here with the combo effect, increases own and ally combo by 10%, deals 100% taijutsu damage to selected enemy. No percentages of the combo effect can be increased with dupe, so keep that in mind. All right, so super strong, and auto skills are really good. Grants revive status to self for one time, so in case they die, they'll come back to life. Decreases own damage received by 10%. This is what makes them tanky, obviously, right? At the start of each turn, if own HP is 35% or below, decrease damage own received by 50% for 3 turns. So you can see here, it grants attack nullification, etc. So this is what makes tanks, because they do take less damage, but they dish out a ton of damage themselves. So really powerful there as well. And the last one is Kasumi here, and then you guys can see how this one works. Characteristics: none. Is an SSR unit, by the way. So deals melee damage and taijutsu and jujutsu damage to a selected enemy. If a sword sheath is counted as a 5 or above, increases own critical rate by 35%. Decreases one of these each time you use it. Grants counter status to self, which is amazing, so you can counter. Evades enemy attacks 1 turn at 36.5%, so increasing your own evasion skills. It attracts the selected enemy to attack self. So pure tank, provoke right there, and then also give you guys the counter moves right here and everything that it does. Increases own taijutsu damage by 10%. Fills own ultimate skill gauge by 110%, oh sorry, 110, and decreases short seat by 1. And you guys can see here, the more and more this unit dodges and counters, the more damage they do, essentially. It's really strong. And then at the same time here, when a critical hit is performed, increases sword sheath by count by 2. At the start of each turn, counter status is applied to self. And again, this is a unit that is going to be doing dishing out damage, taking damage, and provoking. So there you guys go. Those are your top tier units in the game at the moment. So if you are looking for the best ones to go for, if you want a good tank, a support and damage, and a good mix of both, get yourself these damage dealers right here. Yuta, Toji, the 3 Gojis. Highly recommend these two over this one, but hey, get this one as a no shit button. There's your main supports right there, including this SR, which I highly recommend going for. And then of course the tanks, the 2 tanks right over here. Don't sleep on these ones here. I have this Panda, for example, does have a self revive, does do good damage, and also has good buffs and debuffs. So if you are looking for a good tank overall, like pure tank, this is an HP focused tank, and I love using him personally. So there you guys go. Those are the adjustments, or those are the tier lists. I don't have any personal adjustments to make yet because I don't have enough experience, but if you are a JP player, please let me know what you think of this. Shout out for these guys for making this tier list all together. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section, and I hope this has helped you guys understand who to go for when the game drops November 7th on Global. Remember to go pre-register, join the Discord, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.